Hey, Jim.
Morning. Pollen.
Yeah.
I thought I put some tissue in my pocket.
Okay, Justice, we're all set.
Okay, good morning to everybody, and welcome to a special meeting for the Franklin County IDA. We have a few things we need to cover today. Just looking here. Why don't we go ahead with the speaker resolutions? Jeremy, do you want to go ahead and introduce us? But why don't we first of all do a roll call?
Okay, Barton, who just joined, can you give me your name and affiliation, please? You're on
He's
mute.
on.
Sorry, this is Barton Pitts from Nexamp Solar.
Thank you. And Justin Miller. Okay,
Good morning.
good morning. Okay, so roll call. Sherry Boyer is not present. Michael Doran,
Here.
James Ellis,
Here.
Stephen Ehrman is not present. Madeline Fleury,
Here.
Justice Martin,
Present.
Archie McKee,
Here.
also present Maria Bourgeois, Jeremy Evans, Rod Morrison from Nexamp, Jen Trigg from Barclay Damon, Barton Pitts from Nexamp Solar, and Justin Miller from Harris Beach. I think that's everybody.
Thank you, Maria. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the seeker resolutions for the solar projects. Jeremy, could you introduce those to us?
Yes, thanks, Justice. As we've previously discussed, we have an application from two applications from Nexamp for two adjacent solar projects in the town of Fort Covington. Because the town of Fort Covington does not have any local law that requires seeker review and approval, Nexamp reached out to see if the Franklin County Industrial Development Agency would consider leading the State Environmental Quality Review Act process for any project that receives financial assistance through the IDA. Seeker needs to be done anyway. So as you may recall, we consented to do that. We sent out notices to a number of state agencies that could, if they so chose, request to be the lead agency. So what we did was say, we want to be lead agency for this project. Do you object? That was done in March. Nobody objected to the IDA taking on the role as lead agency. Since then, using what's called a full environmental assessment form that was completed and provided by Nexamp, our team, which includes Harris Beach and Northwoods Engineering, reviewed all of the documentation provided by Nexamp and their team, including Rod, their engineer, who was on the call. And we had some comments which they responded to. There were a couple agencies that needed to provide some determinations, including New York DEC. All of that has now been completed. And so what I shared with the board via email a couple days ago is all of the environmental assessment form, parts 1, 2, and 3, along with all the supporting documentation that's been generated in conjunction with the project. This authorizing, or this resolution contemplates the Board of Directors issuing or making a finding that of a negative determination that there will be no significant environmental impact from the proposed project. Certainly weren't going to read the entire resolution, but as you read through the resolution, it just kind of goes through where we've been and what the purpose of the resolution is, and also that we've taken a hard look at any potential environmental impacts of the project, and at the end of the day, find no significant impacts from it. We have the NexAmp team here. We also have Justin Miller from Harris Beach. So if there's any additional questions, additional level of detail, then I would certainly say we could ask them for their input. Any questions?
Well, can we have a first and a second to bring this resolution to the table?
Jim Ellis, move.
We have a second.
Archie, second.
Okay. All right. Are there any other questions or thoughts concerning resolution 2021-18? Okay. Well, if not, Maria, could you do a roll call vote, please?
Yep, as soon as I unmute myself. So this is for resolution 2021-16. Sherry Boye is absent. Michael Doran,
I approve.
James Ellis,
Yes.
Stephen Ehrman is absent. Madeline Fleury,
Yes, I approve.
Justice Martin,
Yes, I approve.
Archie McKee,
Yes.
resolution carried.
Okay, very good.
Thanks,
Okay.
everybody. Just if I just might add, so the next step is that with all of these projects with NexAmp, we are now in the mode of working with NexAmp to see what a draft or what package of incentives should look like, and then maybe then scheduling public hearings. But this was an important step to complete for these specific projects, and so thank you again for meeting off our monthly meeting schedule to consider this resolution.
Yeah, and I'd just like to reiterate our thanks here. It was critical for us to get this done quickly to try and get into these last incentive blocks. And so really appreciate you guys making this special meeting.
Thank you. Okay, very good. Well, we have one other item to cover this morning. Resolution 2021-17 to authorize the purchase contract for Tupper Lake Business Park property. We have a first and a second to bring this to the table.
Jim Ellis, move.
Did you get both of those, Maria?
I did not get the second. Who was the second?
Archie, I was one of them.
Okay, I got Jim bringing it and Archie second. We're good.
Okay. So the potential contract for this was emailed to the board. Do you have any questions? Is there any reason we need to go into executive session for this? Or are we clear to move forward?
I have a question on it. This is Madeline. This is for, did you say propane storage tanks? Is that correct?
Correct.
What's the size, what's the capacity of those?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I just don't remember. They're the big, long, cylindrical tanks that sit on like a concrete foundation. They're
Right.
not big. They're not big like, kind of oil storage tanks or anything. It's just, I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Okay. There's no issues with, I was just curious, if there's residential areas nearby, if there's an issue, or is this
Well,
non-issue?
that's a good issue to bring up, and that is why they're interested in industrial park property, because they own property in Tupper Lake proper where they were considering installing this propane storage. And they would much prefer to do it out at the industrial park because it is a long ways from any residential areas. So they see it as a much better fit for what they're trying to do than where they currently own property.
Okay. I don't, is that a concern that we should have or no? As far as like the capacity that they're gonna store there?
I certainly think it's something that we need to keep an eye on, but I would say that both this project will need to be reviewed by and approved by the Tupper Lake Planning Board and also the Adirondack Park Agency. And then at the end of that, before we can actually transfer title, we have to do State Environmental Quality Review Act review also.
Okay.
So those are all opportunities for the community, the public, for us to ensure that any environmental concerns that might arise are appropriately considered and dealt with.
Okay.
And those are all those approvals are the purchase contract is contingent on those approvals. So for one reason or the other, those approvals don't happen, then the sale wouldn't go through.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Sorry, I think I got cut out. Are there any other questions or discussion on this? Well, if not, let's move ahead with the roll call vote.
Okay, this is for resolution 2021-17. Sherry Boye is absent. Michael Doran,
Yes, I approve.
James Ellis has stepped
Stepped out.
away. Stephen Ehrman is absent. Madeline Fleury,
Yes, I approve.
Justice Martin,
Yes, I approve.
Archie McKee.
Yes.
Resolution is passed.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you for joining in today. Are there any other comments or questions before we adjourn?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay,
Thanks, everybody.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Great.
right,
Have a
have a
good
good
day,
day.
everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
All right.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.